Alright, I'm back. After, well, another week. I almost forgot about this, because this is the week that Final Fantasy 16 releases on PC. And I'm like, oh, please, let me not play anything other than ffXIV currently. I almost forgot. So, on behalf of the Southern Kailin, I thank you for your support. Ihase and the other farmers are working hard to develop the reclaimed land. I hear their new tools have made a world of difference. While we are able to produce some of the necessary equipment here, our craftsmen are already working at maximum capacity. In many cases, it's quicker to simply purchase what we require. Your contributions helped us secure these tools for Ihase and the others. If you are curious to know how their work is proceeding, why not pay them a visit? Let's fucking go. Feels very weird to play as Lyn currently, because I've been doing like I've made another character and I've been running through the game in Japanese, because I wanted to hear the Japanese voice acting. So I'm spending a lot of time on that character, so it's very weird for me to then just go back to my other characters. Hello. Oh, come to see how we are getting on. I don't remember his voice, but sure. The new tools have helped us a great deal. We are very grateful. There's still a lot of work to be done before we can start planting the rice. That reminds me, I placed an order with Kozakura, and the delivery is due any day now. Which one of you is Ihase? Me and the boys. That would be me, and you must be here to deliver 2 sturdy-looking Zos as requested. Glad we are to trade Doman goods. To trade for Doman goods. So coveted are they by our brothers. But may we ask why you require 2 live doves? It would be simpler to bring you horns or pelts or meat, or do you prefer to slaughter them yourself? Coming for friends, we wish to use them as beasts of burden to help plow our fields. Well-tilled soil is essential in cultivation of crops. Just the thought of eating the first rice ball from our own harvest makes my mouth water. Rice balls, I remember these fondly. So vivid is the memory I can almost taste it. Mitsuba first introduced us to their heavenly goodness. I shall never forget the flavor. To think that Zos from the steppe can assist in producing rice makes me very proud. Brother, if we are to stay and help, maybe they will share some of the harvest with us. Is this some jest? We Buddha live only for battle, not for plowing fields and scattering seeds. And what of our aim to secure the Firewalker? We owe our lives not only to Mitsuba, but to the whole Enclave. They are the ones who nursed us back to health when we were close to death. Surely we should repay this debt before attempting to seize again. If we work these fields, we can observe his coming and goings, and find the right moment. Not you two. So it makes it 2 against 1. If as I am to admit it, the idea is not entirely without merit. Ihase, would you allow us to work alongside you? The only payment we ask is a few balls of rice. Or bales of rice. We need all the help we can get, and you seem to have a knack for steering Zos in the right direction, which will no doubt prove useful. But I must warn you, the process takes several moons. You will get your share of the harvest once we are done, though. Then you have an agreement. If it leads to the capture of Yen, there is no hardship we could not bear. Or we would not bear. Come to think of it, Ihase, perhaps when this is finished, you should return to the steppe with us. A man of your stature and obvious strength could make a name for himself. You want me to join the Buddha? I cannot imagine my wife and children would be very happy about that. Besides, I'm much more at home in a paddy field than on the battlefield. No. This Buddha are quite something. Work in the Enclave demands is proceeding apace. The new workers and beast of burden will increase productivity and lighten the load for Ihase and his farmers. Well, hey. You know, like, having like this other character that I've been playing, and then also playing ffXIV at the same time. Playing this game, like, with a different character is so weird. I feel so out of place. Even, like, my rating feels kind of weird right now, because of how much I've been busy with other stuff. On behalf of the Shazan Kailin, I thank you for your support. I am pleased to inform you that we have made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. Owing to your many contributions, the Enclave has seen further developments. No! Why does this take so long? Anyway, my friends, I guess I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I'm back again. For another week of Doman restoration. This is starting to drag on. Let's see, this, and this. Yes. Take my money. On behalf of the Shazan Kailin, I thank you for your support. I am pleased to inform you that we have made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. It's just a bloody same, innit? I like the random patches of grass. That looks pretty finished in my expert view. Once again, allow me to thank you for your continued contributions. Ihase tells me that everything we need for rice production is now ready. The crops are growing remarkably well. If all goes according to plan, we can expect a decent harvest in a few moons. Are you interested to see the progress Ihase made with the paddy fields? Perhaps you should stop for a chat with him. Yes. Let me actually check though, because is it like in current area? No, because it is this. Here, Doma. 1 second. I was curious to see how far we are. Oof. Well, apparently we're not far at all. Wow. Okay. Alright, okay. That's cool. I never should have looked at that. I knew that I shouldn't have looked at that. Fucking hell, man. Oh no. Anyway. When I have all the essentials for rice production, there is even a water wheel for milling once it has been harvested. Most of the more difficult tasks have been taken care of, so all we need to do now is to keep the fields free of weeds and scatter fresh soil from time to time. Some of the children came to help, and were here until a few moons ago. I wonder where they've run off to. Hey everyone, Mitsuba brought food. Come on, let's eat. It was meant to be a surprise for you, but nothing gets past these younglings. Thanks to them, my grand entrance is ruined, but I may as well save my piece. Can I interest you, any of you hard-working farmers at a meat-filled rice ball? As for you, Lin, you may not be a farmer, but I'd say you deserve one too. I know you've invested an awful lot into making a success of this place. I mean, I could literally give you all the money you would need right now to finish building this. Say, what brings you all the way here then? Have you come to visit us? You're helping with the Enclave? Wow, you're the best. Ever since we got back here, the Doman Adventures Guild's been busier than ever. There are all sorts of things to take care of. We'll need new members just to keep up. Looks like you've got some catching up to do. Why not talk about it over some good old-fashioned Doman grub? But you're all covered in muck, so don't forget to wash your hands first. Last one clean is a rotten egg. Good morning to you all. Kozakura, to what do we owe the pleasure? Actually, I was hoping to speak with Lin concerning the reconstruction effort. The Shazankai has reached a decision on our next project. We wish to rebuild Risai Chuka. A school for local children or anyone with a mind to learn. I would like you all to meet a tutor. Miss Minazuki will be the teacher. That's great news. Guess what? We went to Reverend Stone on all kinds of adventures. You mean to say that you're already acquainted? Yes, her husband was our master of lessons. He used to teach us when we lived here before. We were taking breaks from training. She would give us snacks and tell us old stories. Oh, what a wonderful coincidence. Happy to see you reunited at long last. I pray that you return safely. Words cannot express how worried we were after you and your families fled to seek refuge in Eorzea. But those dark days are behind us now. Kozakura tells me you have formed the Doman Adventures Guild, performed all manner of good deeds during your time in Mordona. In fact, I hear you have been helping people here in the Enclave too. Well, if you can find time between guild assignments, perhaps you could resume your lessons? Yes, we'd love to! The school can be our new headquarters. Come on, let's take a look. You must be the hero whose name is on everyone's lips. It is an honor to finally meet you. As you heard, the Master of Lessons to whom the children referred to was indeed my husband. After his death during Lord Kaya's rebellion, the Guardians kept a close eye on me, fearing my teachings might spark an uprising. Now with the Empire gone, and our countrymen repatriated, I hope we can reclaim some semblance of normality. An old woman I may be, but I am not blind to the events of the outside world. I have heard the tales of your bravery. Were it not for you and your friends, Doman would still be under Imperial rule, and this place in ruins. Instead, it is now a thriving community, and I am sure the best is yet to come. At the completion of the Enclave demands, the Shazenkai initiated an ambitious plan to revive an important place of learning, Reizaijuku. I think in any case that's how we say it. A school for those with a thirst for knowledge. Knowledge! Right, let's see if there's anything more for me to check out. As most of my view is getting blocked by a... What the hell is this thing called again? By a big thing. Yes. By a bunch of Namazu. Which is the best way to block your camera. Whoa, that's a big old freaking spire over there. Please tell me there's more. Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Lin, I thank you for your support. Although construction of the school is proceeding quicker than expected, it is still little more than a place for the students to gather. Nonetheless, Minazuki has already started tutoring there. The sheer enthusiasm on the faces of the children is a sight to behold. I'm sure that Minazuki, yes, okay, will not mind if you call in to observe one of the lessons. Ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-bum. Have I ever actually attuned to this? Yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I dang diggly did. Oh, this is a welcome surprise, so what do you think of our school? With a roof and sturdy walls, we can study without worrying about the weather. On the other hand, the bookshelves are looking rather empty. I have my own copies of most of the text, but listening to me reading them aloud does nothing for the children's literacy. Luckily, for today's lesson on Risai, we have all the books we need. Are you familiar with this pivotal figure? Really? Then why don't you join our lesson? Never pass up an opportunity to learn. That's what Miss Minazuki always says. Would you like to take a seat? No, but I guess. Oh no, not school. Disgusting. Rizai was a renowned samurai who once served Doma. Not only was he a loyal and gifted swordsman, he was also a master technician, and well versed in the use of firearms. Above all else, however, he was a learned man, and spent much of his time reading. When his days of his lord's vassal came to an end, he established a school that became known as Rizaijuku. Unlike most others at the time, it was not only for the children of samurai, or those of high social standing, but for everyone, rich or poor, all were accepted as students. The school held a special place in our community and remained open after his death, with some of his former pupils becoming tutors themselves. So that's where our school's got its name. Miss Minazuki was one of these students. Yes, I was. Spent many happy years at the Rizaijuku. First as a pupil and later as a teacher. But all that came to an end when the Guardians invaded. They closed the school and sought to undo all the good it had done. Even so, some of the older generation, such as myself, continued to teach Doman values in secret. The lessons we used to have together were one such example. But now that the Empire is gone, we can teach as we please, without fear of reprisal. That is why I decided to reopen Rizaijuku. The decades of oppression could not crush the Doman spirit, much like the Shazenso. We survived even under the harshest conditions. When they cut us down, we sprout anew, because our roots are strong. I'll never give in to those dogs. Doma forever. My sentiments exactly. Now, who would like to read the next chapter to the class? Me. Yes. Lessons are being held at the Rizaijuku, and the students are eager to learn more of Doma's history and traditions. Furthermore, as a result of the Enclave's expansion, the rate of gratuities paid for donations has increased, as well as the weekly budget. Finally! Take my money! Can I donate more this week, then? Or... Ooh, Take my money, please. I want to go to Shadowbringers, please. Oh, yes. I got another 5k. It's gonna be double the amount, though. 5k is gonna get doubled. Let me go and get, I guess, 2 of these. And 1 of these. Do I have 1 of these over here? Yes, I do. And I do. Hey, would you look at that? Easy peasy. Master Shazenkai, Lin, I thank you for your support. Your contributions have led to truly remarkable improvements in Rizaijuku. Of course, seeing is believing, as the saying goes. Minazuki would like nothing more than to show you the improvements to the school. Off we go. He says while exhaling. I'm sorry, you guys. This to me has like a similar energy as the firmament does. Whereas like, it's just so many quests, so much stuff. But this takes forever as opposed to the firmament. At least, you know, new firmament. Ah, the savior of Rizaijuku. I expect you have come to see what we have done with the school. The building is a lot more grand, as you can plainly see. We have a lot more books to use in our lessons. I was also delighted to find that the children had taken it upon themselves to gather everything they need to practice calligraphy. Tsurunuki gave us some soot to make ink. I had to wash my hands about 3 times to get them clean again, but it was lots of fun. We can show you how it's done if you like. We have some paper from Araragi too, and best of all, he gave it to us for free. He said it had fallen just sort of perfection or something. Good enough for us to practice with, though. He gave me a pinwheel as well. What? Why didn't I get one? They've always been energetic, but they've become so outgoing and independent during their time in Mordona. They have been through so much at such a young age, which often forces children to grow up quickly. But it is more than that, I feel. I think that all that hardship has taught them to appreciate the good times. Perhaps they come to truly understand the joy that freedom can bring. It is a delight to see the smiles on their faces. Many others around the Enclave feel the same way. Fills us with hope for better days to come. Actually, I thought that this might be a good time to mention that the children have been planning something special for the school. They have been trying to keep it a secret from me, so I shall have to remember to act surprised when it is finally unveiled. If my guess is correct, I have a feeling that you will want to see it too. Ruzajuku has undergone a remarkable transformation, and students are more motivated than ever. Yeah, this is looking really good already. I wonder how it's gonna... How are they gonna improve this even more, actually? I think that's probably gonna be it. If I had to hazard a wild guess. Even though I would rather it not be it yet, but... I think... No! Who thinks of this? What kind of monster? Well, anyway. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Again. For another week of Doman restoration. One of these days I'll be done with this. Surely. Copium. Let's see if I did my calculation correctly. I'm beginning to believe. I'm half of the Shazan, Kylan. I thank you for your support. I like how this is the only thing I've just been recording for, like, months at this point. I'm pleased to inform you that we have made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. Show me what you got. Owing to your many contributions, Rizaijuku has seen further development. Your contributions have, as always, had a profound effect on the Enclave. Minazuki informs me that Rizaijuku now has everything it needs. All the necessary books and writing materials have been procured, and the school itself is the perfect environment for learning. Shall we go see it for ourselves? Well, it was not my intention to eavesdrop. I cannot help overhearing that you might be visiting the school. I did have a message for you, but it seems it no longer needs to be delivered. Oh my, your clothes! Come now, what is so strange about seeing a Doman man dressed in the traditional manner? Truth be told, most of us former refugees were glad for the chance to put on something more comfortable. All except the children, that is. They have grown so accustomed to their Eorzean clothing that they are reluctant to wear anything else. Far be it from me to deny them when they are so adamant. Oh, yes, that reminds me. The little ones wanted me to bring you to the school. Apparently they have something to show you. I wonder what it could be. Thank you for letting us know, Hazan. Well then, Lynn, shall we adjourn? My goo-boo. I wonder what is still gonna need to be like... I don't remember what else there is after the school. I mean, I know there's still more, considering the achievements, but I'm a little bit confused about that. Hasan mentioned that the students have something they would like us to see. May I ask what it is? Perhaps I should let the children speak. Look, up on the wall. I did notice the massive Eorzean map. Or well, the map of the world, really. Eorzea is just a small part of it, after all. Eorzea, Aldenart, and Othart. Miss Flaming gave it to us when we left Revenant's Stall. It's so we don't forget Eorzea and all the adventures we had there. We asked some of the grown-ups to frame it and hang on the wall. You like it too, don't you, miss? Yes, anything that tells us about the world beyond our borders is welcome here. And it brings me great relief to know that there are those in Eorzea who would go out of their way to aid Domans like us. But surely such a large and meticulously crafted map is worth a substantial amount of gil. Must be some way we can repay your friend. Well, she said she didn't need it anymore. We still thanked her, though. Have you ever seen a map like this before, miss? Lots of people have them in Revenant's Toll. Big ones, small ones, all sorts. I must admit that this is the first time I have seen one of this sort.
Until recently, we have had few chances to lay our eyes on anything Eorzean. We can show you all kinds of treasures. There's one for making small things look bigger and another for reading the stars. And I've got a chocobo, well, a stuffed toy anyway. They're big birds you can ride like horses. Hey miss, do you see the big desert on the map? That's where Uldai is, and Revenant's Toll is next to it. Maybe one day we could travel to lots of new places like Lid. We can explore the lands under those white clouds.
I wish I could.
Sounds like I could stand to learn a thing or two from you, my dears. You and the other former refugees have much and more to share with the rest of Doma. Perhaps we should compile your experiences in a tome. Minazuki was not exaggerating when she told me how well the children had taken to the new Rizaijuku. It is another sign that life is returning to the way it was prior to the occupation. Even with the Empire driven from this land, we must remain vigilant to problems within and without our borders. Which reminds me, the Shazenkai has received another proposal. A number of Domans who were once conscripted into the Guardian forces. They have banded to patrol the Enclave. To keep the area free from trouble, they wish to establish their own barracks by the Kiankan. My comrades and I agree that this is indeed a worthwhile endeavor, and shall be channeling funds towards the development. Please, come to the Shazenkai if you would like to know more.
Rizaijuku complete. Rizaijuku is now complete, and Kozakura has already begun preparations for the Enclave barracks. Apparently, the barracks are a thing that they work on. So there's Doma 3. Let me check actually. Just ignore the stuff that I haven't claimed because I do not fucking care. It's probably all the way at the bottom or close to it. And I'm hungry. Yeah, there's a 4th and then a 5th. Dovahkiin Drenak. Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin, da 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 da.
Master Shazenkai, I thank you for your support. The basic foundations for the barracks are already in place, and the construction is progressing well. The day it is complete cannot come soon enough. Mato is in charge. He is most likely standing outside, trying to look stern. Would you be so good as to see if he needs any assistance?
Now, this part of the reconstruction I do not remember at all. But I may have, like, started to space out a little bit. At a certain point. Greetings. You are Lin, correct? Kozakura has told me all about you. The two of us are childhood friends, and she keeps me informed on the activities of the Shazenkai. I am Mato, head of the Enclave Guard. As you can see, we are in the midst of constructing our new base of operations. We use primarily as a place to train when we are not on duty. Our patrols help to ensure that no roaming beasts make their way inside. We also inspect various areas of the Enclave, identifying places where accidents might occur. Although with all the building work, practically everywhere contains a hazard of some sort. Mato, can we have a word? Very well, provided you keep it brief. We were wondering, when are we supposed to change shifts? I thought I made this clear, every half a bell.
Yeah, in that case, we have some apologies to do. Apologizing to do, sorry.
Perhaps I should revise the schedule. How do you measure half a bell anyway? Until recently, Okura and his troops patrolled the Enclave. Now they have been asked to forego that in order to deal with more urgent concerns. After all, their role is to protect the whole of Doma, not just the Enclave. As such, we citizens must find a means to protect ourselves. That is our reason for forming the Enclave Guard. Most of our members were forced to serve the Empire during the occupation, so they were glad to finally have the opportunity to do something for Doma's sake. Being conscripted soldiers, they were given some degree of training. They would have been used as little more than cannon fodder in the event of actual combat though, but at least they were worthy of being chosen. You see, I'm not the biggest of Lupin, and I've always suffered from a weakness in the legs. Normally, being small and light makes one nimble, but not in my case. It did mean, however, that I was spared from conscription. Not that being left behind was much easier. Most of my friends were taken away, while I was powerless to help them. Part of me was glad that I could stay here, which made me realize that deep down I was not but a coward. One thing I gained, perhaps the only thing, was an unrivaled knowledge of the nooks and crannies of the Enclave. All that scurrying around, trying to avoid the Guardians, meant I knew all the best hiding places. With the Imperials gone, I started showing these spots to the Doman soldiers on patrol, and before long they had put me in charge of the Enclave Guard. We were only a group of volunteers, it is a great honor. Now that I'm finally able to make myself useful, I want to do everything in my power to repay the trust they have shown me. And your donations will not go to waste, I promise. Construction of the Enclave barracks is underway, as dedicated a collective of citizens patrols the streets. Alright. Something tells me that is probably going to be all of the stuff I can do. No. How many more weeks? Anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back for another week of Doman restoration. Oh man. I can't wait until we reach Endwalker, and then there's a certain piece of content that's gonna be taking an equal amount of time. If I do hazard a wild guess, so yay. This will be something, that's for sure.
Ambassador Shazan Kailin, I thank you for your support. I'm pleased to inform you that we have made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave.
I should really upload more videos, because I've been slacking. But I have been, you know, stuck on Doman Enclave, so it wouldn't make much of a difference. They're using the man catchers. Owing to your many contributions, the Enclave barracks has seen further development.
I offer my most sincere gratitude for your kind donations. I've received word from Marty as to the state of the barracks. Oh, did I say Marty? He would be most upset if he knew I used that name. You see, we grew up together and Marty was my nickname for him. When we were little, he did not mind being called that, but now he tells me it's such a childish name, ill befits a man of his standing. Anyway, there are matters more deserving of your attention. What say we go and see the Enclave barracks?
Man, I'm starting to notice my lack of allergy medication. Fuck me. I've been a dum-dum and forgot to get a new prescription in time. And thus I have none. And I'm starting to notice how bad of an idea that was. Well, idea. More like a lack of an idea. Greetings, Lynn, and to you, Kosakura. I hope you like what we have done with the barracks. It has come a long way, I'm sure you will agree. Even I am amazed we managed to get it finished so quickly. What with all of our patrolling and assisting people with their troubles. Your donations were so generous that we were able to afford new weapons. Thankfully, beyond seeing off the odd creature that wanders too close to the perimeter walls, we have had little cause to use them. We also have the equipment necessary to put out fires and detain criminals. Again, nothing of that nature has occurred so far, much to our relief. There's one missing cat that still loses, however.
It's bound to show up soon, and may I say I'm amazed at the lengths to which you are willing to go to help the Enclave. The real reason that we came here, however, is to deliver a message. There was a missive addressed to you, Marty.
I told you never to call me by that name.
Never mind that, it is from Lord Hien himself. Simply put, he wishes to give the Enclave Guard official recognition in light of your service to the Kingdom of Doman.
Surely not. Is this true?
Yes, it is. Lord Hien pays more attention to what goes on around here than you realize. Not content to rely on hearsay, he has shown a personal interest in the activities of the Enclave Guard, their patrols and so on. He knows full well how committed and diligent you have all been, and thought that this is more than you deserve. Or no more than you deserve.
Jesus. It's just more than you deserve. Trash. No. We never strove to be more than a group of well-organized volunteers, so this comes as something of a surprise. Many of us have families to support and jobs to hold down, so I only ask our members to contribute what time they can spare. For reformity in the employ of the kingdom, we could dedicate ourselves wholly to the Enclave card. Yes, the more I think on it, the more I realize what a privilege this truly is. Thank you, Lin Kosakura. It is your generosity and hard work that have made this possible. I intend to prove that your faith in us was not misplaced. Mato, those Budigan men have infiltrated the Kienkan. Well, they'd never learn. Apprehend the intruders. Want them alive and preferably unharmed. One of you stay here. I'll prepare some choice words for you to deliver to those scoundrels. We'll gather some men and go on ahead. Once the Budiga have been trussed up and given a severe telling off, they will know better than to try any of their antics again. And Budiga just constantly trying to kidnap Hien. Would you excuse us for a few moments?
Never knew he had it in him to become such a respected leader. The Enclave barracks are exactly what this place needed, and Mato has surpassed all expectations. Now that the important matter of protecting the citizenry appears to have been addressed, I have another proposal for you. I expect you have seen the enormous imperial structure by the docks. Although it has, for the most part, been demolished, the watchtower still looms ominously over the Enclave, an unpleasant reminder of the occupation. Since the efforts of the Shazenkai have predominantly focused on establishing an acceptable standard of living for our people, cases such as this have not received much attention until now. Fortunately, we are now in a position to divert donations to replacing the Guardian Build Tower with one of our own, and that we may cast a watchful eye across the One River and the surrounding region. If you are able to continue your contributions, it would be immensely beneficial for the Enclave.
I don't rough them up too much. Ihase needs their help in the battlefields. Sorry about that. Did I hear you mention building a new watchtower? If you need people to manage, look no further than the Enclave card.
Fantastic.
Oh, the barracks are just completed, alright. Now that the Enclave barracks is complete, the Shazenkai aims to further improve security by replacing the Imperial Watchtower with one of Doman design. Furthermore, as a result of the Enclave's expansion, the rate of gratuities paid for donations has increased, as well as the weekly budget. Nice! Nice! Like to see it. We are getting closer, my friends. Don't really know how much there still is, though. Where in the heck is this Guardian Watchtower that they're talking about, even? Where in the heck? Like, is it this thing over here? I don't know. I don't bet you know.
On behalf of the Shazenkai, I thank you for your support. We were able to cover the costs of having the old Imperial Tower completely demolished. Not only that, but the masons and carpenters wasted no time in starting work on a new one. If you would like to know more, I suggest speaking with Ihibushi, the foreman. He will explain how your donations are making a difference.
I am on a mount, but I'm too logged in. What? too zoomed in to notice. So we're now in first-person mode, basically. Oh no, there we go. Oh, it's Torgal. Oh, ffXIV was so fucking good. Holy fuck. You must be Lin. So come to inspect our work, have you? Please allow me to apologize on behalf of Master Rishibushi. He does not mean to be rude, he is simply brusque by nature. In fact, I'm sure he is very pleased to see you at our construction site. You see, like everyone else in the Enclave, we too have benefited from your that is a word, I hate that word. Magnanimity. Yes. Were it not for your donations, we would have no tools or resources with which to go about our work. As such, we owe you a debt of gratitude for this opportunity to improve the lives of our fellow Domans. Magnanimity. Magnanimity. What the fuck kind of word? I know the word, but it's so difficult to say. Is that what you meant to say? We would have thanked you sooner had we not been so busy here. Even working day and night, it took an awfully long time to bring down the old tower. I will say one thing for those guardians. They certainly know how to build. We were getting nowhere with the tools we had, so we had to import ones better suited to taking apart steel structures. And explosives. Lots of explosives. Now, we are making swift progress on building our own tower. Isn't that right, Master? If you worked as much as you talk, you would have finished it by now. My mother always says I should become an orator instead of a builder. Maybe you should take her advice. Anyway, let us address the matter at hand, our plans for the tower. Yes, we will need to decide how to build the uppermost section. Seeing as your donations are funding this endeavor, perhaps we should ask you, Lynn. What do you think should be placed at the top of the tower? Want to give a beacon and turn it into a lighthouse? What this place needs is a massive statue of Lord Hegan. No, just turn it into a lighthouse. You're near the water after all. Brilliant! Why didn't I think of that? Not only will it serve to guide ships traveling at night, but the increased visibility will make it easier for the guards to keep an eye on the Enclave. What say you, Master? I say yes. Excellent. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have work to do. Construction of the watchtower is proceeding quickly, with plans to include a beacon, so that it may also function as a lighthouse. Right, so now we could, in theory, donate even more money. So let us go and do just that. Only 5k though. Gratuity is 200% still, so let's go and split. Alright, I can't do that when I'm in this menu, I swear, this game is... And this game sure is. So that's double, so that's 4, and then I need 2 more of these. Actually no, only 1 because it's doubled. There we go. Doman Enclave taught me to math. That's 1,000, and that's 4,000, so there we go. As ever, you're too kind. Your donation has brought us to the limit of our weekly budget. No! Oh my fucking god. Let me out! Let me out! Anyway, I'll be right back again. Alright. I'm back. Another week. I'm running out of commentary. No, just another week of more this. At least it's like 30k per time I come over, so... Now for the Shazan, Kylan, I thank you for your support. Also, we're pretty far, I would say, so it's not gonna take too long anymore. Not that it matters too much for the viewership, because they don't have to wait a week each time, although they may. I'm pleased to inform you that we have made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. I've been slacking on my video uploads lately. Well, not like it makes much of a difference if I do it daily or if I do it... If I upload a video a week, like... For YouTube, it's probably better for me to do a video a week instead of daily. Because the algorithm is... well, it is. Tower upgrade, yay! Bup, bup, bup. Why? I'm just not gonna give that attention right there. Once more, your contributions are a great boon to the Enclave. Construction of the watchtower has reached its conclusion. It makes me incredibly proud to think that such an impressive structure could come as a result of our combined efforts. I believe that Ishibuchi and the others should finish removing the scaffolding soon, so it should be safe to take a closer look. Also, like, outside of this, I've been doing, like... I've been replaying the entire game, because I'm crazy. But then in, like, different languages, so now I'm doing, like, a Japanese run. to just savor the voice acting of the different languages, and it's been quite something. I'm also doing like other tiny little challenges to it, but it is done. I think what it means to say is, due to your continued donations, the project is now complete, and we all marvel at this fine example of modern Doman architecture. And if you think it looks impressive from down here, you should see the view from the top. You can see the entire Enclave, from the classes being held at Rizai-juku, to the steam rising from the fresh dumplings in the 10,000 stalls. I even saw all the way to the demands, where the field hands are bringing in their first harvest. From now on, I shall enjoy observing the change of seasons from a lofty perch. The Enclave Guard are sure to be pleased with the new watchtower. I know I am. You should probably mention that we had enough materials to make a meeting hall for the builders. You will not be seeing me in there, though. Some of us like to concentrate on our work, while others prefer to spend hours talking about it beforehand. I hope you're not referring to me. May I remind you, negotiations are an essential part of any successful business. And we are no exception. I did not mean it as an insult. You're a skilled architect, and you know what you're talking about. And you certainly do talk about it at great length. That is why I want you to handle discussions with our clients from now on. You mean it? Thank you, Master. I knew I chose the right profession.
Oh my. Seeing it from afar is one thing, but to see it from this close is quite another.
That's what you said.
And what a way to welcome visitors. Truly is a testament to the spirit of Doma. In time, it is sure to become a symbol of the Enclave itself.
Such effusive praise. I'm at a loss of words. Makes a change. Anyway, I'm glad you like it, Kosakura. We still have plenty of work ahead of us, though.
Is the watchtower not yet complete?
You misunderstand me. I'm in the next project.
Another project? Your enthusiasm is most admirable. Of course, we are always happy to hear any suggestions regarding future development.
Hashi Subo will stop by the Shazenkai later to present a list of the required materials. Oh, no rest for the wicked, eh?
I shall look forward to your visit. I dare say that whatever this project is will require donations of some description. Can we count on your support? Wonderful, although I cannot think what it might be.
A giant statue of Hiep. The watchtower complete. Come. With the new watchtower rising above the Enclave, the wheels are already in motion for the next project. Which means another week. I'm gonna go and check actually. Display filtered categories. Why is it in such an annoying place? Nope, it's lower down. There it is. Okay, so there's one more. Just one more! Then we can finally be done with the Doman Enclave. And I still need to do the extremes. I keep forgetting.
Your kind donations have helped secure the materials requested by Ishibushi.
Kosakura, let Hashibusa request your presence at the 10,000 stalls. Do you have time to spare?
Yes, of course. By the Kami! Was this all done in the short time we were away?
Yes, we had to prize you away from the Shazenkai long enough for the other builders to renovate it.
They certainly work quickly, don't they? Truly is remarkable.
What can I say? They learned from the best. Me.
That is far from an empty boast, I assure you. Having received the Master's tutelage, even a novice could put something like this together in no time at all. You see, now that most of the construction of the new buildings has been seen to, we can afford to divert our resources to improving the existing facilities. The materials we requested were mostly for carrying out repairs, but we had enough left over to spruce up the Shazenkai. It is the least we could do to repay all the good you have done. Come now, our contributions pale in comparison to all the backbreaking labor you do on behalf of the Enclave. Nonetheless, I gratefully accept your generosity. Thank you.
It was our pleasure. With that taken care of, perhaps we can all get a well-earned rest.
Does that mean that most of your tasks have been completed?
For now, yes. Just a few odd jobs remaining.
Then I think it is safe to say that the reconstruction of the Enclave is finished.
Good evening. I don't know who's speaking.
Oh, Tayuka, what can I do for you?
I come to offer a proposal. The Enclave should have a garden.
Oh, I see, but where?
I have the perfect location in mind. There's a pond behind the 10,000 stalls, and the surrounding area is filled with a variety of trees and shrubs. The area shows much promise, but we will need the guiding hand of an experienced gardener, namely myself, for it to fulfill its potential. With a few carefully cultivated plants and a new pavilion, tales of its beauty will spread throughout the land. Now, I realize that strictly speaking, a garden is far from essential for daily life, which is why I've waited for more urgent matters to be addressed before making my proposal. What say? Will you grant me the opportunity to bring a measure of joy to the citizenry?
I certainly have no objections. In fact, I think it's a wonderful idea. We shall seek to securing the necessary resources. However, this may require a few more donations. Can we rely on your support, Lynn?
You motherfuckers. Made me think for a second that we were done. Marvelous, you have my thanks. Pavilion, you say? Leave it to me. Master, if I may be so bold, I would very much appreciate you letting me handle this assignment. Let us not forget that you are personally attending to a number of smaller but no less important tasks around the Enclave. I, on the other hand, have time to accept something rather demanding, and as you may remember, I once worked as a field hand. Just one of the many occupations I dabbled in before finding my true calling. That experience will be useful when it comes to gardens, I'm sure. Fine, never due away. A few days without your incessant prattle would do me a world of good. Then it is decided to come. I have much to explain. Are we gonna get another cutscene? No. Man, that was me in game. Just being like, oh, is the Enclave finished? And then they're like, nope. There's still one more thing. If we're lucky, we can finish it next week. Otherwise, there will be just another week. Yeah. I guess. Anyway, I'll be right back again. Alright, I am back. For, you guessed it, more Doman Enclave. Take my money. Wait. Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute. Wait a second, that doesn't make sense. Wait, why did I think it was 50k? Huh. Whatever. See, the best part about being me is just not using your brain.
On behalf of the Shazan Kylan, I thank you for your support. I'm pleased to inform you that we have made great strides in our effort to rebuild the Enclave.
I keep forgetting that I still need to do Stormblood extremes. Owing to your many contributions, the one garden has seen further developments.
Please allow me to offer my most sincere appreciation for your kind donations. Not only were they used in the development of the one garden, but we also had enough materials left to carry out numerous repairs and improvements. Through your goodwill and timely contributions, the Enclave has changed immeasurably from the shattered husk it once was.
Then, Kozakura, the one garden is ready. You should come and see what we have done with the place.
Splendid. We should go for a stroll and admire their handiwork.
You will not be disappointed, I guarantee it. Now, I must find Master Ishibushi and share the news. The Ethernet.
My goodness, I never imagined it would be so spectacular. The stunning combination of natural beauty and traditional Doman architecture takes my breath away. The pavilion in particular is certain to impress all who visit. I had no idea we were planning something of this scale, though.
Actually, Taiyaku came up with the overall design, while I saw through its construction. Though, I have to say, even I am pleasantly surprised by the end result. I'm curious, Tayuki. Or Taiyaku, sorry. How did you become such a gardening expert? Surely the Imperial occupation all but brought an end to such leisurely pursuits? Yes, understandable guardians have no respect for the finer things in life. Sorry, I'm burping. Until they came and ruined everything. I was an apprentice gardener. I trained under my father, who was in charge of the grounds of Doman Castle. While I spent most of my boyhood pruning hedges, he was creating horticultural masterpieces. However, I will never forget the day I accidentally cut off a branch from Lord Kyan's favourite plum tree. For the first time in my life, I saw rage flash in my father's eyes as he struck me across the face. When he marched me off to apologize to our great ruler. I was so afraid that even his hand gripping my shoulders could not stop me trembling. But when I confessed to Lord Kyan, he gently held the branch as he smiled to me and said, "This will make it a perfect gift for my Mina." From that day forth, it has been my dream to fill Doman with beautiful gardens, in honor of our beloved lord. Your generosity has set me on the path to fulfilling this goal. I shall never forget the kindness you have shown me. I wish you could have seen the gardens of Doman Castle. While they have been lost forever, I will dedicate my life to keeping the techniques of my father alive for all to enjoy. It is a shame that he and Lord Kyan are no longer here to share this view with us. I only pray that it serves as a suitable tribute to their memory. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. It was not my intention to dampen the mood. Perhaps we have for so long lived under the heel of the Guardians that we simply could not afford to think beyond the here and now. Even after we rid ourselves of those curs, every day was a desperate struggle to make ends meet. It is only now that peace has returned to the Enclave that we are able to look to the past, to remember those we have lost. No doubt many others feel the same way. I know I do. We should encourage them to come together for quiet reflection, to ease the grief that lingers in their hearts. Maybe we can hold an event of some kind. Finding something suitable is a rather tricky proposition, though. I have heard of several Doman festivals, and they all seem to be too loud and boisterous. On the other hand, we do not want to make the mood too somber. As it happens, the Shazenkai has been discussing whether to host some sort of occasion to mark the beginning of this new era for the Enclave. Unfortunately, we are also struggling for ideas. I will take what you have said into consideration as we go about planning the event. However, I think we will need a little more time to decide on something appropriate. Can we count on your assistance? I would not have it any other way.
Glad to hear it. I shall return to the Shazenkai and look into potential candidates for the event.
If you find yourself in need of inspiration or simply a place to think, you know where to come. The garden is done. Due to your continued contributions, each of the reconstruction projects is now complete. However, Kazakura is still formulating a plan to bring the residents together, to bid farewell to the past and mark the beginning of a new era. Perhaps you would benefit from your assistance? Does this mean what I think it means? Have we reached the end of this accursed quest line? Well, accursed is a little rude. It is a little accursed for, like, a Let's Play format. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we have reached the end, you guys.
Ah, Lynn, I did not see you there.
You.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I've been considering the possibility of reviving an old Doman tradition. A memorial service for the deceased, to be precise. In years gone by, Domans would honor the souls of departed kin by sending floating lanterns into the sky. This is known as Tento Okuri. That was until the Guardians took over. Religious sites were strictly forbidden, particularly those that could be performed within the safety of one's own home. Being born after the invasion, I've never experienced this myself, but restoring this custom would be another step to bring Doma closer to its former glory. I would certainly benefit from the wisdom of the older generation who remembers the observance of Tento Okuri.
Did you say Tento Okuri? It has been many a year since we held one of those.
Master Tsurunuki and Araragi. What brings the two of you here?
I would have come here by myself if he hadn't followed me. I cannot seem to escape this cankerous curmudgeon. You have some nerve, Paper Tiger, as I recall. And as I recall, you are the one that followed me. Kozakura, you wish to know of Tento Okuri? Perhaps the reminiscence of an old man would be of some use in this occasion. As the name suggests, it involves sending lanterns up into the heavens. It is a chance to say our final farewells to the spirits of the dead, as they embark on their journey into the hereafter. The lanterns float on the wind, ever upwards, to light the way. The more there are, and the higher they fly, the happier all those souls will be. Our dead friends will have the time of their lives.
I can only imagine how enchanting that must be. Would we be able to hold the ritual anywhere near here?
Yes, and I know just the place. A pavilion in the garden would be ideal, as it overlooks the one river. You wouldn't want any lanterns falling on anything flammable, would we? Which reminds me, where are we going to get all our guiding lights? Hello? Are you so absent-minded you have forgotten about me already? Making paper lanterns is one of my many specialties. Ah, it's about time you said something useful. Very well. Suppose you can be trusted not to botch this entirely. But make sure you finish this while we are still around to see it. Otherwise, those floating spirits will have 2 more travel companions. Kozakura, can we rely on Chezenkai to spread the word of the event?
Consider it done.
The sooner we get the rest of the Enclave on board, the more help they will be able to offer. Then, could you see Mitsuba and Minazuki are interested? After that, meet us in the one garden. In the meantime, we old men have work to do. Well, yes. I will see what I can do to drum up support. Both of you do your bit, and we'll do ours.
Well, Husters certainly do not waste time, do they? In that case, it is only meet that we follow suit. I shall begin preparations along with the other members of the Shazenkai. Would you be so kind as to speak with the aforementioned pillars of our community?
Alright. I like how even at the end I'm still like sighing and complaining, kind of. Well, it's more a sigh of relief. Say it like that. Hello. Oh, Lynn, how very lovely to see you. Is there something you wish to discuss? Tento Okori, my, I never thought I would live to see another one of those. Of course, we have pleasure to attend. This is a valuable opportunity for the children to learn of our nation's rich traditions. Hey, Torgal. ffXIV was so great, man. That game was awesome. Even though I still need to do the DLC. But soon to him. I've got other projects that I want to finish first.
You're just in time to try my latest dish. It's Eorzean stew. Oh, the ceremony with the lanterns. Yes, I'd love to go. I have 1 or 2 things to see to first, so I'll meet you there. Gooboo. Everyone, may I have your attention? Welcome to the Tento Okuri, in which we wish the souls of our kin a safe journey as they depart for the heavens. But first allow me to express my appreciations to the artisans of the art, without whom none of this would have been possible.
Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this auspicious occasion.
There's one more person I wish to thank. Linda Dare. You have worked tirelessly for the liberation of Doma, reconstruction of the Enclave, and the reuniting of our people. We are eternally grateful.
She's a pillar of strength to the refugees during our time in Eorzea, and continues to be so here. I could spend 1,000 lifetimes singing her praises and it still wouldn't be enough. Just think that we should stand, as a people reunited to take part in a ritual passed down from days of yore. My late husband and all of the other dearly departed must be smiling upon us.
I find it really funny that these Buddha guys are still here.
Yeah. Well, what's the matter?
It's nothing, I just see you all so happy and at peace. I feel as though our lost loved ones are here with us.
Maybe they are, which is all the more reason not to cry. I hardly think our dead friends would come here just to see us blubbering. And besides, those paper lanterns will not be flying anywhere if you soak them with tears. Come on now, chin up.
I'm sorry, you're right. In the unfortunate absence of Lord Hien, it falls to me to oversee the Tento Okuri. Now, let us light the way to the heavens.
Light the way.
Shall we send our lanterns together?
How romantic.
Who can say what a new dawn will bring for Doma, for all of us?
I forgot to remove my chat block for that entire cutscene. Oh well. Yeah, sorry. Things like the way it currently is, I only record like once a week, so the getting like the muscle memory that I have for some of these things is kind of gone.
There you are, Lynn. I was hoping you would come by. What did you think of the Tento Okuri? In all honesty, I've never seen anything so beautiful. In fact, I would say that the ceremony marked a turning point in the history of Doma. Perhaps now we can move on from the tragedies of the past and look to the future. Lynn, I would like you to have this. Obviously, it is scant repayment for your kindness and generosity, but perhaps it will serve as a memento for everything we have achieved. The work of the Shazenkai will continue. Only now that the Enclave has a means of supporting itself, we no longer need to rely on donations. I can scarce believe that this place was once little more than ruins. Where once clouds of dust blew across splintered wood and piles of debris, now stands thriving businesses, places of learning, and homes where our people may grow and prosper. You have touched the lives of all of us in so many ways, for you have been instrumental in the restoration of not only our country, but the pride and dignity of the Doman people. Words alone cannot express how much this means to us. However, the Shazenkai still has much to do. Our aim is to make the Enclave better than it has ever been. We hope that one day Doman can stand shoulder to shoulder with the other great civilizations of the world. Of course, if you wish to make any further contributions, we would be delighted to accept. As always, we will be offering gratuities for any goods you are willing to provide, and even if you come only to visit, it would be an honor to welcome you again to our not-so-humble home.
And we get the Yangshan merchant Haori. Haori? The Doman Enclave reconstruction complete. Owing to your contributions, the reconstruction of the Doman Enclave is now complete. Although there will be no further expansion, you may continue to make donations within the weekly budget. You will still receive gratuities for items donated. The rate compared to selling at vendors has been increased. Furthermore, you now have access to a wider selection of wares from the yard. Oh my god! We're free! I think this also gives us a title, yeah? Yeah, philanthropist. And now we have this Hayuri, which is, I mean, it's alright. Let's see what the other guy, like what the yard actually has to sell now. The yard! Hello. The Starly Cloth. Did they sell this before? Wind-up cider. Ha! That's pretty funny. Sake sets, some other like furniture stuff, and just the Yangshan merchant highway. Okay. Well, my friends, believe it or not, in this exciting oopsie, I misclicked. In this exciting episode of I hope you enjoyed this long ass freaking. It's not one episode that I know, but just this long ass series of It's the Mr. Randy, what the fuck? I'm getting distracted. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I would say pretty lengthy little venture into the Doman Enclave, and finishing it all, of course. I think with the way that it is now, if I am correct, like I still need to, like at this point, I still need to do the extremes of Stormblood, or well, the patch extremes, which would be the Four Lords and the Tsukuyomi. So I still need to do those extremes, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to need to find people for it again. Either way. I don't really know if I've already posted the extreme videos or not, because I'm still very behind on posting videos. So we'll see. The way that it's going to be is like it's either going to be extremes after this still, or the extremes will have already happened and we will be starting Shadowbringers in the next episode. And with starting Shadowbringers, I mean, we're going to unlock, I think, like either Dancer or Gunbreaker. I'm probably going to start with Gunbreaker. We're going to level it up. We're going to do the quest line. And then once that is all leveled up and going, we're going to jump into Shadowbringers with both the Gunbreaker and Dancer as my main jobs when going through the MSQ. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this this lengthy process. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we're gonna finally, well, depending on what happens, we're either gonna do extremes, which is exciting, or we're gonna be doing, or we're gonna be starting Shadowbringers and getting some new jobs and learning some more about some new jobs. So, anyway, goodbye.